We're going to do a quick inspection of the frame. I've looked at the top and everything looks really good on top. The welds all are very solid. So now I'm going to pull the wheels off just to get that extra weight off of it. Pop it up, get it on some jacks, look underneath, and then after you get done looking underneath, we're going to look at the axle and make sure the bearings are good and the grease is fresh in there. Oh, that's on there too tight. There we go. I don't want to lose these because they fit. Well, let me see if I can get my jack out. There we go. Oh, while I'm over here, check this out. Wheel tubs. These are in great shape. Galvanized, no rust, ready to go. Got some undercoating in there, but that's cool. That's what also helped it last this long. So we don't have to spend that money. Good deal. Again, don't lose your lug nuts. Now we got the tires off, the wheels off, so we're going to check the axles. We'll go through all of that, but mainly we want to make sure that this is spinning freely, and it is spinning real nice. We want to make sure that the bearings are good, and we want to make sure that the grease is fresh. If it's not, we're going to take it out, we're going to clean it up, and then we're going to put new grease in. So we just got to get this cap off right here. It should just screw out here pretty easy. Pipe wrench, you should always have at least 2 of these. All right, you can come in here and take a closer look and see that this grease is old and kind of dirty. There's a nut under here, so it's got a cotter pin on it. So we're going to take that off and unscrew that, take it apart, and we're going to look at the bearings real quick. Got to get the cotter pin out. The cotter pin goes, you'll see that there's some cutouts in this nut, and you get that just tight enough. You put that cotter pin in, and then the cotter pin keeps it from backing out, losing your axle, losing your wheels. So we're going to get that cotter pin out first. These vice grips, hopefully. Oh, there it is. I was just looking for that. Now we'll get these 2 pinched back together, and this will come out much easier. Here we go. So I say.
One eternity later.
So there's the cotter pin. That was pretty stubborn, but we got it. Cotter pin just has 2 sides, and then you just pry them apart, and that's what holds it in there. So we're going to keep that right here so we don't lose it. Wipe my hands off. I kept the shade or the draperies from the thing, so just for such an occasion. Oh my, that is loose. Look at that. That's coming right off. Don't necessarily want it that loose, but the bearings will tell the tale. This is coming all the way off. Almost, there we go. get back here. Let me clean that off real quick and kind of show you what I was talking about. So you can see on here that there's these cutouts, and that's where that cotter pin goes in, and then it can't rotate at all. It will stay right in there, that cotter pin. So we'll keep track of that. Now, should be a washer on here. And we don't want to lose this washer. This is a specific washer because it has a little nub right there. That's not grease, but it's got that little notch. Whoa, that little notch is sticking out right there. And so there will be a flat spot on the threads right here, and it can only go on that way, and that'll hold that in there nice and neat. So here we go. Oh yeah, look at that. This is the axle that the bearings ride on, and that's beautiful. That is really nice. That makes me think, as good a shape as this frame is in, that it's been sitting for a long time. And I think somebody just got tired of camping, because this is great shape. It's a great looking axle. We'll pull these bearings out right here. And what we're going to look for, so you can see that sits on the axle, and then the bearings in the race turn in there as well. So what we're looking at here is these spin. As this spins, these will spin as well. And we're just looking for any flat spots. We want them round, but I don't see any problems whatsoever. I think somebody put these bearings on not too long before they made it just kind of sit there. Oh, no wonder. Made in the USA, #1. So I'm just going to take this grease out of there and clean this up, and I'm going to re-grease it, put this back on, and we'll get another 30 years out of it. All right, we're going to inspect these welds under here. I got my light so that I can see them real good. I'm sure that everything is welded real smooth, real tight. But you know, we gotta make sure that the very important parts are 100% in good shape. And from that point of view, it looks like everything is good. So I'm gonna kind of show you what a good weld looks like. But unfortunately, they're all rusted out. So I'm gonna take this little wire wheel. I'm going to take some of the rust off so you can see this weld, and I'll show you kind of what we're looking for. I'm going to take all the rust off of this. I'm going to get a better, cleaner wire wheel. I'm going to wire wheel this whole thing, undercoat it, paint it so that it lasts even longer. But if you come up here to this weld right here, let me brighten it up. What we're looking for on this weld is that it's consistent all the way across. We got a little hole right there, but that's okay. It's really welding is really the electrode melts this metal together, and then it forms it into one. This weld will be stronger than this steel, and this is a good weld. I mean, I've seen better, I've done better. But it's a good weld. It's a good solid weld. And that's about really representative of all of the welds on this trailer. I'm just really, really pleased with the frame on this trailer. It is in great shape. Let's go back here to the axle. I got them re-greased and put it back in. All the bearings were great. The axle itself, the spindle, perfect. So this, if you look underneath most trailers, any kind of trailer that you would haul something with or anything, they usually will have leaf springs underneath. They're going to detach here, and kind of bow down, attach back up here, and then that's what allows it to move and absorb the shock as you're going down. These, on every Scotty I've ever worked on, has had this axle. This is called a torsion axle. And one of the reasons that they use a torsion axle is because the Serros wanted this to fit into a regular size garage. And so the biggest part is it needs to ride low so that it can get in through the garage door. We don't have that problem because we're in a shop, but most garage doors are maybe 7 feet at the most. So this whole thing, so it has to be less than 7 feet to slide in. And don't forget that you've got your little opening at the top. So this is going to hit here. It's going to go like this. So if you can watch this spring right here, this is where the torsion is. It's hooked in here. It's hooked here. So watch, you can see it's getting under load right there. So it'll come up, and it'll only come back down this far. It won't go further than that. So it does this. And then these will tighten up the more that the load is put on it. And so it'll only go so much because it tightens on this axle, and then it can't go anymore. So it's not going to really bottom out. So that's kind of the ins and outs and the whys of a torsion axle being used on the Scotty campers. Height, it's a good axle. I mean, you can still get them brand new. You can have them made. I had one made for, I guess it was a Highlander. I built a Highlander. Then I wasn't comfortable with the axle, so I went and had one made. And it was exactly like this. Some people will take them and flip them so that they sit up a little bit higher. So if you're going to go somewhere where you need more clearance, I mean, that makes sense. It looks funny because you don't see Scotties sitting up high. They always sit down low. So that's your torsion axle. This episode, we got to look at the under workings of the frame and the axle, and I was very, very pleased with how sturdy that frame is. We got to look at the welds. The welds are great. We got the tires. Tires are brand new. So there's a lot of good things happening with the frame. And the frame is obviously the foundation. Like if it was your house, which it may be somebody's house, the frame is the foundation, and the foundation is good. It's a solid foundation on this camper. So I feel real good about that. We got to get it cleaned up, get it painted, and put the floor back down. Once we get that floor on it, then I can buy flooring. Probably go with something vinyl maybe, that maybe looks like wood, something like that. Or if I find something really cool retro, I'll get that and put it down. And once that's down, then it's off to the races. So check us out on our next episode. Really like you to subscribe. Hit the subscribe button. Hit the thumbs up button. And as always, leave me a comment. Tell me what you like, what you don't like, but mostly what you like, and what you want to see maybe. So we'll try to work on that. So comment, hit the like, hit the subscribe, and we'll see you next time.